Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Laurie Steiner. Welcome to the first 2018 show of Golden Opportunities.
Today, when it comes to sticking to your resolutions, it's not about willpower, it's about want power. We'll explain. Then, this is the year to build a better you. We'll tell you how. Is your goal to greet every day with a grin? We can help. Plus, there's no time like the present to plan for the future. We'll give a short overview of long-term care insurance. And if you die with debt, you can dictate a payment plan. How? Where there's a will, there's a way.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. New Year's resolutions can be life-changing, but let's face it, most of them aren't. So how can we successfully change our lives for the better? Dr. Roy Buczynski has a few ideas, and he's joined us in the UH Broadcast Center to share them. Dr. Buczynski is the Chief Wellness Officer at UH Hospital. So how are you today?
I am great. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank you.
Now, you say when it comes to making changes, especially in your life, it's not a matter of willpower, it's a matter of want power, right?
That's exactly right. Willpower is such a pain. There's only so many times that you can keep saying no. So what I tell my patients is it's a matter of want power. What do you want for yourself in this lifetime, for your family, for your well-being? How do you want to lead your life? And that becomes your motivation for what you do of your actions.
So can you give us an example?
Sure. So let's say there's a delicious cheesecake sitting in front of you, or a big piece of pizza. Now, whilst you may want to eat that whole pizza and that whole cheesecake, you then need to say to yourself, is this really going to help me in what I want to get out of my life? Is this going to help me be healthy? Is it going to help me live a longer, stronger life? That doesn't mean you can't have a slither of that cheesecake, or you can't have a taste of that pizza. It just means you can't eat everything just because it happens to be in front of you.
Okay, good advice so far. And you say no matter what your wants really is, you need to take care of the 4 F's and the 4 S's. So what do you mean by that?
All right, so the 4 F's are the first. First and foremost, the first F is for feet. In other words, physical activity. If you don't move around, you're not going to be around. It is recommended that you have a minimum of 150 minutes of exercise per week to gain the benefits of preventing heart disease, dementia, and many other illnesses. The second F is for forks, in other words, what you eat. And to paraphrase Michael Pollan, eat food, mostly plants, not too much. In other words, eat food in its most natural form. But certainly you can have a treat at times, but mostly keep it simple and keep it natural. Of course, you can have protein on top of that, but again, mainly fruits, vegetables, whole grains. The third F is for fingers. Don't smoke at all and don't drink in excess. Now, the fourth F is for finances, and we've discussed this before of the relationship between health and wealth. In other words, if you're wealthy but you don't have your health, that's no good. And likewise, if you're healthy but you don't have that wealth to help you live a long life, then that's no good either. So health and wealth are definitely tightly interconnected with each other.
Okay, so what about the 4 S's?
So the 4 S's are the following. The first S is for sleep. Aim for somewhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. A good day starts with a good night's sleep. 30% or more of Americans are not even getting 6 hours of sleep these days. The second S is for stress. Don't let stress turn into distress. Do what it takes to prevent stress building up in your body, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whether it's mindfulness. Whatever it is, find that stress buster that you can employ to prevent stress from turning into distress. The third S is for sex, and the answer is yes. Safe sex, monogamous sex, definitely yes. And then the last S is for socialization. Avoid isolation. Isolation has been shown to cause depression, anxiety, and early death. So we tell our patients, stay in a community, whether it's in a house of worship, whether it's a book club, whether it's a bridge club, but something that allows you to mix with people at all times.
As always, great tips. To make healthy changes in your life, take Dr. Paczynski's advice of the following, the 4 F's and the 4 S's, and remember that want power beats willpower every single time. My thanks to Dr. Paczynski for joining us today.
Thank you.
Learn more by calling the Center for Lifelong Health at University Hospitals at 1-844-312-LIFE. That's 5433. Or visit their website, www.uhhospitals.org/lifelonghealth. Next, gaining on your goals. But first, if you bon voyage to France, you're likely to see a legendary landmark that, while famously French, is titled after a German town. Can you identify this icon? We'll map out the answer when we return.
Steve and Joe are the same age and retired with the same amount of money, but Steve pays far less tax on his IRA distributions. How? By avoiding 5 costly mistakes. If you want to learn how you may be able to avoid these costly mistakes, join me, Jim Lineweaver of Lineweaver Financial Group, at the Brecksville Community Center for our complimentary program. We have 25 years of experience helping Cleveland area retirees. Seating is limited, so call today.
After the family of the builder of the Eiffel Tower moved from Eiffel, Germany to Paris, they took their old town's title when friends couldn't quite say their German surname. Gustav Eiffel was the builder, and now his name, and that of his family's hometown, is forever tied to the extraordinary Eiffel Tower.
The new year can bring a new look at your life and how to make the most of it. For help, turn to the pages of the January-February issue of Northeast Ohio Boomer and Beyond magazine. Editor Marie Iliam is here to preview possibilities you may want to pursue. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks.
A lot of times in the winter, people like to cocoon, just sort of roll up in a blanket and stay inside. But you've got some places that might make us happy to be not hibernating.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if I'm an early bath person. So, but this is for people to get you to go outside, outdoors in the winter. And we're so fortunate in Northeastern Ohio. We have so many great state parks, and there are a lot of easy, fun things to do. I mean, all you need are a decent pair of boots and, a good coat and some gloves, and you can go outside and enjoy yourself and make the most of this cold weather. I mean, embrace it. That's what I like to say.
Embrace it. Okay, well, yeah, look at some beautiful pictures that we have of the winter weather outside.
Right, so you can go rent snowshoes. Some parks have snowshoeing. Cross-country ski trails are great. All kinds of activities. There are birding activities in the winter. So if you check the websites for the state parks, like at Punderson or Headlands, etc., they've got trails and a lot of activities to do outdoors. So there's really no excuse to just be a couch potato and watch Netflix all the time. I mean, you can get out, embrace it, enjoy the weather.
You might even influence me to do that, and I don't like the cold. All right, besides going outside, it's the time of year to look inside ourselves, sort of new year, new beginning kind of a thing, right?
Right. We have a feature story on self-esteem in your, for people 50 and older. And that can be an issue as we age. You may be winding down in your career, your kids have moved on, marriages change, or you're looking for different relationships. Maybe you're in a rut with friendships. So and all that can wreak havoc on your self-esteem. So we have an article about self-esteem for people 50 and older, how to boost it, how to nurture your self-esteem, and why it's important too.
Okay.
So
Sounds like a worthwhile one. And two areas that get our attention every year is our mind and then our body. First, brain boosters. You've got something in the magazine,
well,
right?
we do have something on computer, being better, more computer savvy, and we talked to an expert who does classes for people in the boomer age group. And you know, if it's kind of funny. One of the most common questions has to do with Facebook. If someone, if I unfriend someone, will they know it? So we get that question answered, and also address some other issues about mastering technology, social media, etc. And it's kind of just an introduction to that, and it's interesting. I mean, that's something that everybody. It can really help you connect to the world and to far-flung family and friends, and it's fun.
And then there's the body, which certainly isn't getting any younger.
No. Thanks for the reminder. No. So we have a story on the latest and greatest non-invasive cosmetic trends, you know, to help you look a little better and to maybe recapture a more youthful appearance, etc. So that's a story that we find out what's hot in northeastern Ohio. What some of the cost is involved with some of that, and the benefits, and some of the drawbacks too. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very good issue.
Well, I hope so. That's my goal every issue, so we'll see.
And boomers aim to be the best. And the Northeast Ohio Boomer and Beyond magazine offers endless ideas at the perfect price. It's free. You can find your free copy at a variety of locations throughout our area. Need help finding one? Use the information that's coming up next. And my thanks to Marie for joining us today.
Thanks.
For more information, call Northeast Ohio Boomer and Beyond at 330-822-4011 or log on to www.northeastohioboomer.com. Next, new year, new smile. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Lace up your skates and enjoy an amazing outdoor activity at the rink at Wade Oval. You can glide on the ice through early March, and each time after you finish skating, your rink wristband racks up special discounts and promotions all around University Circle. For fail-proof information, call the rink at 216-707-5033 or visit www.universitycircle.org.
With the new year, there's a new president of the Alpha Omega Dental Fraternity, that is, dentist Steve Marsh. Steve is here to tell us about his new role in this new year and how it brings smiles to so many different people. So congratulations, this is a big deal. I see you have a pin even.
Yeah, this is the AO pin. I'm not only president, but in a sense, the ambassador of AO. It's a group of dentists all over the world. We have 5,000 members. There are over 100 chapters, Lori. 70 of them are alumni chapters for dentists who've graduated from school, and 30 or more are for student chapters. We have one in Cleveland for Case Western. There's one at the Ohio State University. So we're all over the world, and it's been a wonderful organization in my life, and another opportunity for me to give back to this thing that's meant so much to us.
So what are the goals of this organization?
Well, so the first thing is education, you know, so we work with each other, we do continuing education programs, we also educate communities, we do a lot of good works for people all over the world, some of whom have dental issues, and we try to help those in need. So all over the world, especially in places like Canada, all sorts of places, we take care of people who need our help, and it's a wonderful way to give back to this community. It combines family and a wonderful feeling among dentists.
Yeah, it sounds like a great organization, and it kind of reflects what you're doing in your own practice here and helping people.
Well, that's what we try to do, and so we thought we'd show some people who we have helped in the last year or so, and also it's a new year for people financially. Maybe they have new insurance, another opportunity to get their teeth fixed. So
yeah, financial can be a big issue.
A big issue. So this is a patient who said to me, Steve, and he happens to travel a lot. He also had some financial considerations, as we all do. And he said, what can you do in a very easy way? He meets with a lot of people. Lori, we did this with a combination of reshaping teeth and bonding. We often talk about some more involved types of treatment. But again, I just spent about 2 hours with him and just reshaped the teeth. And in some places where there were some defects, we were able to add to them. Later on, this is a patient who had lost some teeth. In previous shows, we've talked about zirconium when you're missing teeth. And later on, this is that same patient. The teeth were in a lot of different places. He had lost some of those teeth, and that's an all zirconium bridge that we placed to replace those teeth. And now he meets people, he said, with a very different confidence.
Oh,
and so
I'm
it was a
sure.
really challenging case, but one that meant a lot. This is a young woman who was getting married, Lori. So sometimes it's not a financial consideration, although weddings we know bring that. But she wanted to have a beautiful smile. She was in her late 20s, came to us over the years, had worn her teeth down from a number of different things, including sometimes food problems or that sort of thing. And to make a long story short, we did 8 veneers on her. Her parents brought her to me and said, please, she's a beautiful girl. We'd like her to have a beautiful smile. She was in need of it, and she came to us, and we had the opportunity to do that with porcelain veneers. Another interesting case, and this is a patient who had gone through some real difficulties in her life. Her sister was an advocate of our dentistry and brought her in. The upper is actually, those teeth couldn't be saved. That's an upper denture. But in the lower, we did porcelain veneers and reshaping and bonding. So she was someone in need, and her sister said it has changed her life, and she's very proud of her smile.
I would imagine that's a dramatic difference.
So it can be seen today. I'm proud to be the ambassador for Alpha Omega. It's meant a lot to me. It's a privilege to serve in this organization. And just as sometimes we help people in need in our office, we try to do the same thing. So this is just one more way, in a way, to reflect what my parents, my mom was a teacher, dad was a dentist, to sort of carry their tradition on.
And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Whatever the challenge, whatever the reason, there are ways to achieve dental health and a beautiful smile. Dentist Steve Marsh can help, and his number's coming up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, the ABCs of LTC. It's time to get up and go. An exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carvin from Breakout Fitness. Today we're going to help you work those ever important shoulder cuffs that help to support our rotator cuff. You ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is an upright row using our exercise band. We're simply going to step on the center of the band. We want to kind of offset our feet here so we can make sure we don't lose the band and we don't lose our balance. All we're going to do is start with your hands, palms facing your thighs in front of you. We're going to lead with the elbows, bringing your elbows above your wrists until your fists touch just about the top of your chest, okay? All the way up, all the way down. Remember, good posture. Make sure you're breathing. It's always exhale with exertion and inhale as you're resting. All right, how you doing?
I'm ready to roll my boat out
Look
in Lake Erie
at that.
this summer.
You got the breathing down, you got good posture. Doing well, excellent. All right, everybody, once again, 12 to 15 repetitions, 3 to 4 sets, and you'll have stronger shoulders. So now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
You may think your need for long-term care is long ways away, but time and money are on your side if you plan now instead of later. Steve Rachelson is here to add up the costs. Steve is the owner of Rachelson & Associates, a long-term care insurance provider. So welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, it does all come down to money. So what kind of money are we talking about for long-term care insurance?
We're talking serious money. Care is very expensive. In a nursing home today, for example, care in a good facility is $10,000 a month. Assisted living's $5,000 or $6,000 a month for a couple, and home care, which is probably everyone's preference to start,
Absolutely,
is $20 an hour, and for a 15-hour day, that's $9,000 a month. The real problem is in the future, because people today in their 50s and 60s won't need care, but they will in their 80s. And with medical inflation, care will probably double in cost. You're talking $20,000 for a nursing home, $12,000 for assisted living, and $18,000 a month for home care, 15 hours a day.
Frightening numbers
They
for the
are.
future that we're maybe looking at. most people think they aren't going to need long-term care. You know, that's not me. My kids will take care of me. Medicare will pay for it. Something is other than that they don't have to worry about it.
Well, the government projects that over 75% of the people in their 60s now will need long-term care, which is, the good news is they're going to live that long. Medicare has no long-term care benefit whatsoever. It's a short-term hospital program. As far as children, I'm not sure they're going to be able to afford $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 for someone's spouse. And kids live far away. You know, they're not close by. So most people will need some type of care not provided by their family.
Okay, so long-term care is likely, the need for long-term care is likely, and it's highly expensive. So does that mean the long-term care insurance is expensive as well?
Well, when you look at the goal of protecting your assets, you can then use your income to help. So what I do with clients, I try to have couples go into policies between $6,000 and $8,000 a year. And that'll give them probably 70% of the cost. Then their income will take up the rest. So it's not overly expensive if you plan 20 years ahead of time. The younger you are, like life insurance, the cheaper your premiums will be. We're talking about $6,000 to $8,000 a year for a couple.
Okay. It is still hard, though, for some people to come up with that money up front. What if you die before you actually need the insurance? You lose all that money?
If you die, you would lose your, you know, if it's a couple, one person dies, their portion is lost. But most people don't die. Most people do die after a chronic illness. They die in a nursing home or getting a lot of home health. You don't die suddenly. And if you need that sort of care, it can be extremely expensive. So most people do use their long-term care insurance.
Okay. And are there any tests or medical evaluations you have to go through? You can just get this?
Well, unlike life insurance, there's no physical exam, which is great. But you do have to pass a questionnaire that underwriting studies. But the good news is, once you get your policy, it never can be canceled for illness. You could get a policy and next day develop, unfortunately, a Parkinson's disease, for example, and you would still be covered. So it never can cancel your premiums, your policy rather. But if you don't pay your premium, that's the only way the policy can be canceled.
Okay. Is it only to pay for nursing home care?
No, you're getting a bucket of benefits, and it's your freedom to choose which way you want to go. It covers home care, assisted living, nursing homes, and even adult daycare, which is a very new program helping a lot of people. Okay. You have your choice how to spend your money.
So how you need that help, it can help you.
Yes. And you can progress every way up. Start with home care, go all the way to the nursing home.
All right. No one likes to think of a future where they may need almost constant care, but not thinking about it isn't the answer. Just as in every important phase of life, information and preparation will make the outcome easier. My thanks to Steve Rachelson for counting the ways and the costs of planning for long-term care.
Thank you very much.
Learn more by calling Rachelson and Associates at 440-600-7040 or click to www.rachelsonltcinsurance.com. Next, willingly paying your debt.
Right now, proton therapy, a revolutionary treatment for many types of cancer, is available for the first time in Ohio and only at University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center. That's the future of cancer care. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center. Right now, the trusted experts of University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center and the most advanced cancer-fighting technologies are in 17 community locations. That's leading-edge care where you're most comfortable. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center.
Most folks have loose ends at death. Sometimes it's things they always wanted to do. Sometimes it's people they didn't get to see before they died. Most people owe money at death too, whether it's regular monthly household bills or medical bills. So who pays these bills? And is your family going to be liable? Here with the answers is my law partner, Mike Solomon. Hey there, Mike. Yeah, and it's pretty much always true. People do owe money when they pass away. So, and it's not so clear always who's going to be able to pay those bills.
Right. So, most of the times there's enough funds in the estate or the trust to pay all bills, and it's not a real issue. Sometimes, though, there's not enough money, and that's when you have some issues you have to address.
Okay. So what can be done then?
Well, let me divide it into trust assets and probate assets. The rules are clear. Probate estate has to pay the bills if certain rules are followed. Surprisingly, it's not entirely clear as to trust, whether trust have to pay the debts, creditors of the decedents. And that's just depends on the document and just is not entirely clear.
Okay. So what happens if there isn't a probate estate opened for a creditor to, file a claim and have the probate estate pay?
Okay, so the clear part of the rules are that if the claims against a probate estate have to be filed within 6 months of the date of death. As I mentioned, it's not entirely clear the rules as to trust, whether they're subject to claims or what the time frames are. But a probate estate, 6 months from the date of death. So, and you can't just, as a creditor, just send a bill to the house. You have to actually have an estate opened up, and the creditors have to send a notice, a bill or something to the executor saying, hey, you owe me money. And then the rules kick in. If you don't do that, if you're past the 6 months, it's too late. So sometimes people don't open up estates in the first 6 months. And if that is the only way the creditor can make a claim, is they have to open up the estate. Now, for small bills, someone owes you owe someone $100, they're not going to take the time and the effort to open up an estate. If it's a big bill, then that creditor can open up the estate and start the process going.
Okay.
Then, after you have all that, so you have all these debts and assets, let's say there's not enough money to pay the debts. So then the probate rules, the Ohio Revised Code has an order of how debts are paid. First is the court. The court gets paid first. The second, the most important, is the lawyers get paid
of
next.
Course.
Okay, so lawyers get paid. Then it starts going down a list, hospital bills and other bills. So general creditors like magazines and things like that, they're probably going to get little or nothing after all these other debts are paid off. So that's the process that you go through.
Okay, so the family doesn't necessarily get stuck.
Right, so the executor is the one who has to worry about it. So if you've been appointed executor of the estate, you've got to make sure that you follow the rules, because if you pay money out to everybody and someone files a claim within that 6 month period, you're on the hook as the executor if you gave everyone the money. So generally with our clients, if they're not sure there's enough money, we say wait the 6 months, make sure all the bills have come in, make sure you have enough assets, pay those off, and then you can start handing out the money to all the beneficiaries.
All right, good information. Where there's a will, there's a way to deal with the debts. The family doesn't necessarily get hit with a bill they don't know about and can't afford. Thanks to Mike for this information, and call him if you have any more questions. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. Until next week, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.